So this is one of my projects that I've been doing. It's the emergency action plans for all of the offices that Saving Site owns. Right now, this is the Kansas City one. So this is what I edited. I edited the evacuation routes, make sure it's all updated. I edited the footer as well to make sure it was correctly dated in time. These are all the numbers. So this is our utility company emergency contacts, electric, water, gas, telephone company, internet for all of the Kansas City office to connect to. And then this is the emergency reporting and evacuation procedures. This is basically the list of contents. This is the medical emergency. Basically, if you have a medical emergency, call 911 and also what to do, like ring, maybe do CPR, um, maybe call an ambulance as well, how to stop the bleeding, etc. So this is fire emergency. It basically tells you call the fire department. Also, it tells you to always use pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep with a fire extinguisher. Basically, this also tells you where to go. Severe weather and natural disasters, it basically tells you what to do when it happens, also where to go, where to hide, and all that stuff, like winter weather emergency as well. Basically, this is extended power loss. Basically, contact any of the companies below if you have power loss for our office as well, which is very useful information. And then this is the threatening phone call, basically what to do if someone threatens to either shoot up the place or like an active intruder or whatnot. Basically, this is the Homeland Security's thing to fight or flight response for the paper. And then in the last resort. And then that's pretty much it for the presentation. For what I worked on pretty much for a month from one of my projects was just to update this as well. So yeah, that's about it. And then in the next, I can show you a time lapse of it too. So this is the Saving Site office tour. So right here we got our break room. We have the oven there, microwave. Here's the sink right over there. We also have our coffee pot right there, which a lot of people use. We also have a Keurig that people can use as well. This is our break room right here, where people eat after for their lunch shift. This is the vending machines right there. There's also a puzzle you can do right there. So coming into here, this is the Springfield room. This is the largest conference area in the office space. Right now we have a fundraiser going on right in there. So this is one of our wellness rooms coming up right here. People can chill out here and put do not disturb. And then these are the two main bathrooms in the office right here that everybody has to go to. So there's Marlene's office, that's the chief people officer. And then this is the saving site side department. My office is all the way down there by the window. And as we come here, here's the printer. They're one of the only color printers in the office. All these shelves right here are labeled with all the office supplies that we have. And coming right here, we're coming to the Vital Tiers side. This is all the Vital Tiers office space right here. This is also one of the sit-down rooms where people can talk as well. And then as we're making our way, so we're making our way right now to the labs area. This is one of the labs right here. This is the main lab that Saving Site uses. And then as we walk into here, this is pretty much where they prep the tissue as well. And then as we exit out of here, we will make our way down to more conference rooms. And then here is the Columbia conference room right here. And then this is the prep where they prep the tissue right there. And also someone's doing it in there. And then as we enter, here's the Illinois conference room right there. Someone is prepping the tissue right now. She's going to get a close-up. And then that is it for the tour of the office. Today was our new hire orientation prep. And as you can see, the IT team is giving the spiel right now. That is Andrew right now that is giving the spiel. I'm just sitting in the meeting. These are our two new hires that we have right there. And then right now they're just giving the
So you
audio.
guys are gonna meet us. We'll sign into your laptop.
And then you can
So
hear the audio right now.
multi-factor authentication.
Basically, this is just a small snippet of how it is going, how the new hire orientation works, and how they can set up their computer with cybersecurity so it's all protected because they take cybersecurity really seriously here. As I got past that, basically my day-to-day activities, this is actually one of the fun activities that I did over actually my spring break because I took my time out to do this because I never experienced this before. But this was a rage room in downtown KC, so I didn't know this, but apparently they do off-site meetings there, or they do off-sites, and they picked this place. So it was a rage room. They were frustrated, I guess, and they wanted to go and relieve their pain. So they decided to go to a rage room because of all the HR stuff that was going on. So yeah, this is just a picture of the team after we smashed a bunch of glass and a bunch of bottles and stuff like that. This was overall an amazing experience. I mean, I've never been to one before, but this was honestly, if they have another intern next year, I would definitely recommend doing one of their offsites, even if it's during your spring break, because this was an experience that I probably will never forget. And then here's another picture of us all holding our deadly weapons. And then this is me holding a hammer, I think it was, but it was called Rage KC, which was downtown. And then here is me throwing a glass against one of the shattered, I guess, I guess a wall. And yeah, there was glass pretty much everywhere. I think overall the team had a blast, and I had a blast too. But it was overall an amazing time, and I would totally recommend it. And I would definitely go again. But yeah, that was just one of the fun events of many that we had at this internship. Had another fun event that they do. It's like employee appreciation. We had a waffle day where in the mornings when I got there that morning, they were making waffles and they asked me to help and I decided to. This is something that the HR team likes to throw on every now and then to just really appreciate the employees. So this is in the kitchen in the office, and basically we have a bunch of waffles lined up, and people who arrived at work basically got to go over there, ask us what they wanted, and then we pretty much made the waffle. Overall, this was an amazing time, and I think that more companies should do this because not a lot of companies really do employee appreciation like this. Like, especially when the HR team is actually like cooking for them, I've never experienced that, and that is something that I will also enjoy and then take into account. And then that is our head person on the left, and then there's Philip and Molly on the right. But overall, this was an amazing time. Like you say, there's another picture. Here's all the waffles and stuff, and the waffle maker, and then I had to stir the mix and like put an egg into it and put vegetable oil and make the mix while they cooked the waffles. And then also here's the last picture. Pretty much Molly is enjoying her time with holding up that tube, something like that. And overall, this was a very fun event that I really enjoyed, and that is something that I will definitely keep in mind in the later future. Hello, this is my video that I'm doing with my interview. So, can you state your name?
My name is Molly Odoricio.
All right. And then the first question is, what is an essential professional skill needed at this internship?
In the HR and learning development, it would be communication because you interact with so many people throughout the organization.
All right. And then the second question is, what have you done to master this essential skill?
Mastering it, I feel like it's a journey, so I'll always be trying to master communication. But just being really self-aware, so understanding things like your personality type, and also understanding how other people process things, and just really trial and error, just interacting and building relationships with a lot of different people and learning.
And then last but not least, the last question is, what advice can you give me to master this essential skill?
Advice for you. Well, I think you already do a really good job building relationships and connecting with people. I think just continue to put yourself out there more, and don't be afraid to speak up more.
Cool. And that concludes it. Good morning. This is my Saving Site presentation. So, Saving Site's background, it's an iBank that has been around for 60 years, has multiple locations. So basically all they do is they find dead people and pretty much for organ donors, and then they take out the tissue in your eye, and then they basically prep it, and then they give it to surgeons, where surgeons can then put that in people that surgically need tissue. So their mission statement is we change lives by saving sight. So saving sight's departments are human resources, which they do with all the employees and hiring and all that, and then IT does all the technology stuff like Wi-Fi, fixing the computers, recovery, which they go out to the hospitals and recover the tissue, client services just helps deal with certain clients with it. Donor services helps deal with the hospitals and communicates which person has died. And then Vital Tears is the eye drop company. That's a for-profit company that Saving Sight owns, where they make eye drops meant for dry eye out of blood. So Vital Tears, obviously it's an eye drop company. It's for dry eye. Saving Sight's owns, and their main lab is in Kansas City, and they use it for, they make the eye drops out of blood. So HR department tasks, basically on Tuesdays, I help with new hire orientation. I help with giving out the tour and stuff like that. Wednesday through Fridays, we always have team meetings in the morning, and we always talk about what our day is going to look like, what our week's going to look like, what we're doing that day, and stuff like that. And then Thursdays, usually we have interviews, and then sometimes maybe I'll help with training. But usually they try and schedule interviews on Thursdays. And then Fridays, they have team meetings and NHO prep, which is just prepping for the new hire orientation next Tuesday. So the technology platforms that I use are LearnAmp, which is our training platform to train the whole department, all the department. And then Airtable, which is our HR department, where we can have a whole master list of all the employees. And then ADP, which is our payment information and how they pay people. Organizational chart for human resources. Marlene Wilkerson, the Chief People Officer, is the head of our department. Molly Odoricio is my training manager, and she's my manager as well. Stephanie Petty is the HR generalist. Brianna Bird is the talent acquisition specialist. All of them are under Marlene, and then I am under Molly. And then Saving Sight's policies, disclosure policy, HIPAA. They take this seriously for like any confidential information. Dress code policy, they take this seriously as well. They want business casual, but they still want you to dress appropriate and absent late. If you're late, then you'll get a warning, but if you keep being late, then they'll write you up, and then that can soon lead to firing. Work policies, PTO, so you get about 5 weeks of PTO throughout the year. You can use it wisely. Training, they require 6 months of training before. And then orientation is the first day. Basically, you get oriented throughout the whole day. Safety protocol, fire protocol, they have all the evacuation routes. Fire protocol is just go out in the parking lot. And the weather protocol is finding a safe area to take cover. And without further ado, that is the end of my presentation. Any questions?
So some stuff that I already knew about, some of the professional skills I knew about at NCAPS were definitely integrity and trust, because with my job beforehand, I am very trustworthy because I have to deal with money, and also just basically they rely on me so that they can make money as well as a cashier. But I also knew about critical thinking and problem solving, whether that was in school, I needed to do a project, I needed to critical think and problem solve in certain situations. And then I think the two ones that were crucial for me in NCAPS I didn't really think much of, but actually are benefiting me a lot right now, are communication and collaboration and time management. Because communication, I needed that very much in my internship. I needed to communicate well, especially through Teams chat, especially through email. Communicating was very key to my success at my internship. But also, last but not least, time management was very key too, because for time management, I only had 2 hours to get stuff done, so I had to be really productive with my time and also have a meeting at 8:30, so that took up 20 minutes of my time. So I had basically an hour and 40 minutes to just get whatever I needed to get done. And overall, I think I did a really good job about it, because NCAPS taught me these professional skills, and that I think that will make me successful in the future. But yeah.